And welcome back. We're so happy to have you here today. All right, so we have Michelle, and Michelle has this amazing club called the Mompreneur Club, which I'm telling you, it's so cool to be able to see how far we've come along this time of moms being able to come together and be able to create these great visions. And to have Michelle as that amazing leader is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you so much, Michelle, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you. Okay, so everyone remember, we always give away a free gift at the end. So stay until the end. You need that keyword from Michelle and me to be able for you to get this free gift. And you're not going to want to miss out on this, especially if you're a mompreneur. You are definitely going to want this free gift. All right, so hold on to the end. All right, so Michelle, what made you come up with this idea to say, I need to create a space for moms to be able to grow their business and have it be okay to also just be a mom?
Yeah, so I became a mom 7 years ago, and that was also the start of my entrepreneurial journey. I think, like most moms, we have children and then realize, wait, I would like to still make money, or I don't want to leave my kids to go to a job and do that, and I want to find out how I can make money at home. And so I am no stranger to that, and I very quickly realized that the world of entrepreneurship was not very friendly to moms, right? You were kind of stuck in either MLMs, Tupperware, or something like that in terms of what people approached you with. And so what I wanted to do was really make a space for moms. And of course, if someone's in an MLM or they're selling something or doing like they're more than welcome to join as well. But our main focus is helping moms with a high ticket offer and creating a space where moms can just, like you said, be themselves, have the space of having their kids walking around in the middle of a call with someone, and show that, you can make a lot of money even with your kids, blowing raspberries in the background.
And I absolutely love that because there is this stigma that of course all these women have dealt with, but especially if you ever worked in corporate America, it's like they expect you, like fully expect
Mm,
you to leave your whole life at the door. It's like you don't
mm,
get to be a mom when you're in this environment. You get to be the person that has to like crank out all these results for us in this period of time, and that's all we care about. We don't care if your kid's sick. We don't care if you come
mm.
in and you literally got thrown up on as you're walking into the office. Like we don't care. We just
Yeah.
do your job and that's it. So like you being able to create this space for these women to say, hey, this is not only a soft space to land, but this is a place where you can actually create a space
Mm,
where you don't have to go back to that corporate environment where nobody
hmm
appreciated you. So, I love that you did that. So I'm just kind of curious. Like I know you're predominantly on school. So
hmm
tell me a little bit about that. Like what's the draw for school itself? Like I know there's a lot of cool things about it, but what made you decide, hey, school is where I want to create this?
Yeah, so I actually started off on Facebook. That was kind of where I
Mhm.
first started a lot of my groups. As most people, Facebook is obviously very well known at this point. Everybody has it. So I started there and I quickly realized it was a lot of work to get any attention on Facebook because there's just so much noise. And so when school came out, I had heard a little bit about it. I actually signed up for a program that was on school. I was kind of like, I like this, but I don't quite get it, right? It's still a little confusing to me, I think, as most people feel when they first go into school. Um, and then I'm actually a big fan of Alex Hormozy and his wife, and some of those people as well. And so when they started backing school and promoting it, I was like, I need to really look into and see what this is about. And so that was when I started MySpace. So I started MySpace on school, and I just started growing it slowly, kind of getting the feel for it, joining other groups on there. And now it's absolutely my favorite place. I always tell my husband, I'm like, every time I go back on Facebook, it feels like a dumpster fire. And compared to school, like on school, everyone's there because they're genuinely trying to learn and become better and grow as people. And it's just such a unique vibe. Whereas on school, I feel like it's either people are trying to sell you something, people are trying to show, oh, how look how great my life is, or people are just trying to stir up controversy and cause problems and drama. And so what I like about school is it's just very focused. You get to join a bunch of different groups designed around stuff you're interested in, and everyone's just there to have a good time and learn and grow.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Like I'm actually moving my
Mhm.
mastermind group over to school itself. And it was after a call with you, I was sitting there, I was like, why are we not doing this? I'm like, I look at it like the same way that you're talking about. Like Facebook is very high school, where school is very
Yeah.
college. It's like you see the differential between it. It's like, oh,
hmm
here's all the drama. that I have
Hmm.
zero interest in, right?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
here's where I could actually come in and really get some shit done and create my business and grow as a person and be the best
Hmm.
version of myself. So I love that. So let me ask you a little bit about like, when you created your space, when you were just like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is who I'm supposed to help. This is my mission in life.
Hmm.
When you first started out, was there some fear involved, or were you just like, nope, I know, I'm just doing it?
Yeah, so I told you I had started my I started entrepreneurship about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So with my first, I did all of the typical things. I got into a couple different MLMs. I tried social selling. I tried all these things. Of course, I had no audience, no skill sets, none of that, and so it didn't work. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what I learned was I needed skill sets and I needed to be able to provide some sort of value to somebody. And
Mhm.
so I ended up actually creating a bookkeeping business because my job before having children was finance based. So I started a bookkeeping business. I got a bunch of clients, and within a couple of years, I had like multiple people working under me, and I had this big, bookkeeping business. Ultimately, at the end of the day, though, I hated bookkeeping. And so I switched to marketing because I figured, well, if I learn marketing and I get really good at marketing, I can do anything with that. So I opened a marketing agency. I got really good at it. All the money I made, I reinvested. And after all of that time, I ended up having my fourth child and in 6 years. And I was like, I need something that's just going to help me still have more time with my family. The marketing was too much. And so what I decided was that I could help moms basically do what I do, which
Mhm.
is making different businesses. And then that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to do, and I knew school was the right tool to do it. And that's when I went all in on
Love
that.
that. I love that. I love that. And honestly, I can say, like, we never end on the path that we start on. And,
Hmm.
especially getting into marketing, very, very smart move, by the way.
Yeah.
Marketing is the last legal form of mind control, right? We know that.
Hmm.
But it's also like it opens up so many doors. Like when you understand and know marketing, it opens up so many doors, especially in business,
Hmm.
on what's going to work, what's not going to work, and that was a very, very smart move on your part. I mean, people like look at me now. They're just like, "Oh my God, you must have been a business coach your entire life." I was like, "No, I started as a massage therapist. Like, that was my jam. I did that, and I fell in love with marketing. And because I fell in love with marketing, I shifted over into marketing, and I had my marketing agency. And like you said, I was raising my 4 kids at the time, and I was a single mom, so I'm like raising 4 kids while running a marketing firm, and I'm like, okay, so burnout was real, right? Like you feel it, you really feel it. So, I love that you kind of shifted into like just finding this like softer space because, after you working hard things, especially like bookkeeping and marketing and everything, you're going to fall into that unfortunate space of burnout. So, for the moms out there who are like, hey, I'm exhausted. I don't want to go back to my job after maternity leave. I want to be able to create something for myself. And they're just like, they're in that burnout or they're progressing towards burnout. How do you help them with like kind of like the prevention of that heavy like burden of that burnout that, like, yeah, you have to make money, you have to take care of your family, but you also have to be a person.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we focus on is a couple different things. So one, we want to make sure that our clients have a really solid offer. Ideally, we're looking for people with a high ticket offer because if you can sell someone on $100, you can probably sell them on $1,000. And if you're going to be spending the time selling someone, might as well get $1,000 for what you're doing. So that's kind of number one that we do because again, it's a lot easier to work with 5 clients than it is to work with, hundreds of clients. And as a mom, like you said, we're all super busy. So we don't have the time to be working 40 hours a week, right? Like I don't have the time for a full-time job. And so I need to make full-time money on a part-time schedule. So we really fine-tune the high ticket offer and come up with what is something that you can do that you could actually charge a high ticket price point for. The other thing, like, see here I am filling up bottles while talking to people. Um,
I
the
love it.
other thing we do is we talk a lot about marketing. So we set up a marketing funnel that they can work in literally 2 hours a day tops. And the idea there is, again, we don't have all the time in the world. So once you have your offer, if we can set everything up in such a way that all you have to do is work 2 hours a day and make
Mhm.
high ticket money, then I think I mean, that's pretty ideal, right? So we
Without
try to look
question.
at what is something that you can do that you can charge high ticket for, and then we implement those systems. So all you need is 2 hours a day to be able to start getting clients. And then,
That's
of course,
beautiful.
with that system, you're making good money for the amount of clients you're working. So it's not like you're working 40 hours a week or anything like that.
I love that. I love that. So when you're talking to these women and you're talking to them about high ticket and things like that, who are these types of women? Like, what is it that they want to offer? Like, what are those services that they're going to be offering that high ticket for? Is it something more along the lines of coaches? Is it more like consulting? Is it something else entirely? Like, who is like that person that typically will come to you to look for help in building that high ticket offer?
All different kinds of people. So we've had dietitians, we've had health coaches, we've had one of my more recent clients is a bookkeeper, so we've had bookkeepers. We work with honestly anybody. So the only thing I say is typically it's either a coaching or a service-based provider because you're doing everything remotely. And now my
Yes.
cat's about to come and walk in front of the camera.
I
Get
love it.
out of here. Chaos, right? Chaos. That's what it
Hey,
is around here.
tis life, right? Life is lifing every day.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so we really try to come up with like what's the high ticket offer, and usually it has to do with some sort of service based, which usually, I mean, more often than not is business to business. Like, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Or it's something like a coaching offer. So, like one of my most successful clients is actually a dietitian who does nutritional coaching for perimenopausal women, right?
Oh, beautiful.
So there's all different kinds of stuff out there that people can do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have like a nice eclectic mix, which means that like really when people come to you, they can come to you with like any type of thought that they're just starting out. They maybe have a small idea or don't have an idea yet, but they can come to you and kind of cultivate what that idea could be turning into.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of what we do. So they can get a lot of help in in the Mompreneur Club that we have, which is basically you just come in. We have a whole group of over 600 women. We're getting close to about 700 moms now. And we have people pitching ideas in there all the time. Like, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you guys think? How can I refine my offer better? Would you guys pay $1,000 for this? Right? Like, it's just a really great place for people to collaborate and actually work towards a goal, right? Instead of just pitching each other stuff, we actually have a no pitching policy, right? So we're all genuinely there to actually work together and build our businesses, which is really nice.
I love that. I love that because honestly, everyone needs that camaraderie, especially moms. You know, being a mom and especially when you're staying at home, it's like I mean, you're an island, right? Like you're set by yourself, and you need that support, and you need that help from other people, and you need other moms that are going to understand where you're at, so you don't feel overstressed and overwhelmed. Like I have to do all of it by myself. It's more of a community. So it sounds like you built a really substantial and amazing community there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I
Love it.
agree. It's like that's what they need. And so, I sat there and I said, what did I wish I had when I was first starting out? And how
Mm.
can I build that for other moms?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I absolutely love that. I mean, I remember back when my kids were little, my God, like I literally had to like pretend I didn't have kids, like because went to work with corporations, to work with companies, they didn't care that I was a mom. They had not a care in the world. I had a stoplight that I had made and put on my office door for people for my kids, and it was like, green meant I wasn't on any calls, I wasn't that busy. If they need me, come on in. Yellow was like, I'm busy, but if it's like something you really need from me, you can come in. Like, don't tell me like, we're out of you ate all the cookies in the cookie jar and you need me to go bake more, right? Don't want that. That's not a yellow thing to come in the room for. Or if the hot UPS guy was dropping off my wine delivery, get me, because like that's important. We need to take care of it. And then red was like, if you make noise past this door, if you touch this door, if you even think about knocking on this door, like you better be on fire, the house better be on fire, there better be more blood out of your body than in your body. And I understood like I had to create boundaries in my business because we all have to create boundaries in our business. But at the same time, I felt so guilty over having to create such big boundaries with my kids, especially during the summer when they just wanted mom. And I was a single mom. I had four kids, I was divorced. I had my four kids, and like it was just me. So it was so much. And I'm like, I felt so guilty about like creating these boundaries for them where they couldn't just be kids sometimes because I had this really important thing that I needed to do to be able to provide for them. Um, but I mean, I remember times of sitting at my desk at 10, 11 o'clock at night and working on a website while breastfeeding my daughter. And it's like, I mean, I look back at that now and I'm just like, God, I would never do that again. I would be like, you know what? I'm a mom first. F off, right? Like I'm taking care of my kids first. And but back then it was just so different. Like my kids are in their 20s now. So it's so different now where like it's more accepting and it's more acceptable because people like you that create this space to say, this is acceptable now. And other moms trust that it's acceptable and it becomes acceptable because you've changed the narrative. So, like, congratulations on changing that narrative for every mom out there because it's needed to happen for a very long time.
Oh, well, thank you. I was going to say too, I think a stat that most people don't realize is 1/4 of all the businesses in the US are owned by moms. And so I think people don't realize like how prevalent mompreneurship is.
Yeah.
But it also means, especially if you're doing something business to business or something like that, there one of my favorite things about being an entrepreneur is I get to choose who I work with.
Yeah.
So if I'm on a sales call with somebody and they are getting, or they're obviously getting annoyed that my kids are bothering or something like that, I'm probably not going to work with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's just not going to
Agreed.
be a good fit. And
Yeah.
so I love that, like, as entrepreneurs, we have the ability to choose who we're going to actually work with, and we can do stuff like that, where I can sit there and say, my kids are the top priority. And yes, they're going to be interrupting. And, quite frankly, when I do have one-on-one calls with my clients, I do them in the evenings or weekends. So my husband's home with the kids so that we're not getting interruptions. But
Yep.
at the same time, I still want to know that the people I'm working with understand the dynamic that I'm doing, right? And that they're
Yeah.
okay with that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the whole brand. It's the whole brand
Hmm.
is, it not only is it acceptable to be a mom, but that's the
Hmm.
expectation.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and that just changes that whole perspective. So I love it. So, okay. You have an amazing free gift. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because I am super excited for this gift because I can tell you that if you're a mompreneur and you're out there and you're just like, I'm kind of lost here and I need some support, Michelle has an amazing gift for you. So, Michelle, tell us a little bit about that free gift that you have.
Yeah, so it is the Mompreneur Club. So it's a free group on school. We'll have the link, obviously. We'll make sure we have that. But basically, the free group is a group that any mom can join. And inside, you get that accountability. We have challenges constantly going that'll help you grow your business, help you even in personal life. Sometimes we have people doing different challenges based on connecting more with their kids or finding more time to do other stuff or build good habits, right? So it can be all encompassing. We have a ton of training in there in terms of courses. If you're interested in school, we have courses on how to build a school community that is high converting. We have courses about that 2 hour a day marketing strategy we talked about. We have courses about how to sell without feeling salesy. That's another big one that a lot of women and moms really struggle with is how to ask someone for thousands of dollars worth of, money in their sales. Um, and how to do it and actually close a sale without feeling like you're ripping someone off or without feeling like you don't know how to say it or ask for the money. So we do a lot of stuff around all of those different concepts, and all of that is 100% free with that.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so everyone, mompreneurs out there, if you want this free gift from Michelle, drop the word club, CLUB. Drop that in the comments below, and Michelle and her team are going to reach out to you, get you that link so you can get into that school group because I'm telling you, there's a lot of goodies in there. I joined in there and I was just like, holy crap, why didn't this exist when I needed it? Right? So I can tell you it's totally worth it to be in there. There is so much interaction and engagement with other moms. So especially if you're a mom and you're feeling kind of lost, this is a great space for you to be. So remember, the word is club. Drop it
Mhm.
in the comments below, and Michelle and her team will reach out to you and get you that link. So, Michelle, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. This was fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what else you post inside your school group because it's really cool in there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.